Ever thought about selling your soul for power and success? Sounds chilling, right? Well, let's unravel the tale of a man who allegedly did just that. A man of medicine, a surgeon, once renowned for his skill and dedication. He was no ordinary physician. Whispers in the dark corners of Briar Hospital tell a tale of a pact made with the devil himself. A pact for power, for success. This surgeon, our protagonist, dared to tread where most fear to, but at what cost? Imagine being at the pinnacle of your career, but the price you paid is a secret deal with the devil. This was the predicament faced by our surgeon, who stood at the zenith of his profession, a beacon of hope for his patients. But there was a dark undercurrent to his success. The surgeon had made a pact with Satan himself, trading his soul for unparalleled surgical skills. The ethical quandary that arose from this decision was a veritable labyrinth of moral ambiguity. How does one justify such an act? Can the ends possibly justify the means? He was saving lives, yes, but at what cost? He had sold his soul, his very essence, to the devil. The surgeon was walking on a razor's edge, teetering between good and evil. He was operating under the paradox of using an evil pact for the greater good of saving lives. The surgeon's choice was a heavy one, and it came with dire consequences. His soul was no longer his own. He was a puppet, his strings pulled by the devil. His nights were haunted by nightmares, his days filled with the dread of his eternal damnation. The surgeon was a prisoner in his own life, trapped by the chains of his own making. This was a man who had chosen power over integrity, success over his soul. He was a man who had forsaken the ethical boundaries of his profession, delving into the forbidden. His actions were a stark reminder of the fine line that exists between ambition and moral corruption. The surgeon's decision had far-reaching implications. His patients, unaware of the dark secret behind his skills, were unknowingly involved in his pact. The hospital, once a symbol of healing and hope, was now tainted by the surgeon's unholy alliance. The surgeon was playing with fire, dancing with the devil, and as we know, those who play with fire often get burned. His tale was a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the dire consequences of making a deal with the devil. The surgeon's skills became unparalleled, his success unmatched, but whispers started to spread. As with any sudden rise to prominence, the surgeon's newfound prowess was met with equal parts awe and suspicion. His surgical precision, his accuracy, his ability to tackle cases that others had deemed hopeless. It was as if he held a scalpel blessed by divine intervention. But this wasn't a divine intervention, was it? It was something far more sinister. The surgeon's colleagues began to question how someone could so drastically improve in such a short span of time. Every incision, every stitch, every diagnosis was perfect. It was as if he had an intimate knowledge of life and death itself. The hospital corridors buzzed with hushed conversations. Among the whispers, a common question arose. How could a mere mortal possess such extraordinary abilities? The surgeon's remarkable skills were seen as a defiance of natural order. His rapid ascent was as intriguing as it was unnerving. The surgeon, who was once one among many, had now become an enigma, a phenomenon that defied explanation. Rumors started to circulate, painting a chilling picture of the surgeon's pact with the devil. They spoke of late-night rituals, of forbidden incantations, and of a shadow that lurked in the darkest corners of Briar Hospital. These were mere rumors, of course, but they were enough to cast a shroud of dread over the surgeon's brilliance. And then there were the patients. Those who survived his knife spoke of feeling a cold, insidious presence during their procedures. They spoke of nightmares, of a shadowy figure that feasted on their fear and suffering. It seemed the surgeon's gift came with a terrifying price. The surgeon continued his work, his reputation growing with each successful case. But as the whispers grew louder, the mystery around his unprecedented success deepened. But every secret has a way of coming to light, doesn't it? The truth, as they say, is stranger than fiction. The surgeon's secret was more horrifying than anyone could imagine. For years, the surgeon had been walking the hospital's hallowed halls, a paragon of medical brilliance. His touch was deemed miraculous, his knowledge unparalleled. But beneath this facade of brilliance and benevolence, a dark secret festered. The first hint of the unimaginable truth came not from a dramatic confrontation, but from an innocuous detail. A nighttime janitor, weary from his shift, noticed an unusual shadow flickering in the surgeon's office. It was as though the darkness itself was alive, breathing, pulsating. As curiosity piqued, whispers of missing patients began to circulate. The surgeon's incredible success rate was marred by a string of unexplained disappearances, each vanishing tied to a case the surgeon had personally taken on. The whispers turned into alarm when a patient, previously deemed incurable, was found lifeless. The cause of death was not the disease that had plagued him, but a gruesome wound that bore an uncanny resemblance to a bite mark. The shocking revelation sent waves of horror through the hospital. The once revered surgeon was now the subject of a chilling investigation. The dark corners of Briar Hospital, once a haven of healing, had become a feeding ground for a shadowy figure. The surgeon was not merely a man, but a monstrous entity that fed on the flesh of the sick to sustain his cursed existence. The climax of this macabre tale came when the surgeon himself disappeared, leaving behind an eerie silence that echoed through the hospital corridors. The man who had once held the power of life and death in his hands was now a mere shadow, a terrifying legend whispered in hushed tones. The surgeon's meteoric rise and his shocking fall served as a stark reminder of the danger of ambition unchecked, of the price one pays when they stray too far from the path of righteousness. And so, the surgeon's deal with the devil had come to haunt him. So, what do we make of this tale? What lessons can we draw from the surgeon's chilling story? This narrative unravels the tale of a highly skilled surgeon who, in his quest for power and success, made a pact with the devil himself. His ambition, while initially admirable, soon spiraled into a dark obsession. The allure of power and the promise of unparalleled surgical skills led him down a path from which there was no return. In the hallowed halls of Briar Hospital, he was a respected figure, a beacon of hope for the sick and the dying. But his meteoric rise to fame was not without its cost. The surgeon had traded his soul, his humanity, for this power. His newfound abilities came with a gruesome price tag, the need to feast on human flesh to sustain his existence. As the legend goes, his dark secret was eventually uncovered. The once revered surgeon was now a feared entity, a shadowy figure that lurked in the corners of the hospital, preying on the very patients he was sworn to protect. His life had turned into a never-ending nightmare, a constant battle between his insatiable hunger and the remnants of his human conscience. The surgeon's story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the devastating consequences of trading one's soul for power. It's a cautionary tale that echoes through the corridors of Briar Hospital, a chilling testament to the lengths one might go in their pursuit of success. It warns of the sinister allure of power and the heavy toll it can exact. It prompts us to question our own ambitions and the price we're willing to pay for them. It reminds us that power and success, while enticing, can sometimes come at a cost that's far too high, a cost that can strip us of our very humanity. This tale of a pact with the devil is chilling, thought-provoking, and a stark reminder of the price of ambition. It leaves us questioning the very essence of our desires and the lengths we would go to achieve them. Would you trade your soul for unparalleled success? Or perhaps the allure of power is too intoxicating to resist? The surgeon's story presents us with a profound ethical dilemma. He chose to dance with the devil, a decision that granted him immense power, but cursed him to an eternity of darkness. He now lurks in the shadows of Briar Hospital, a spectral surgeon feeding on the flesh of the sick to sustain his damned existence. His story is a grim reminder that power obtained through wicked means is a hollow victory, a victory tainted with the stench of rotting flesh and the lamentations of the damned. But what of the consequences? An eternity spent in the shadows, once a healer, now a predator. A pact sealed in blood, a soul sold for the illusion of power. A once revered surgeon, now a ghastly shadow, his legacy forever marred by his insatiable greed. These are the chilling realities of the surgeon's tale. It's a story that forces us to confront our deepest fears and question our own moral compass. So, what do you make of this tale? What would you have done in the surgeon's shoes? Join us in the comments below for a discussion. And don't forget to check out our other videos for more intriguing narratives.